Hey guys, welcome back. So I've read, you guys left me messages that you want to know what my build was. Well, I didn't build this thing for mud or trail or anything. I saw the video that showed this thing in snow, and that's what I fell in love with. So that's why I went for the tracks and I went for a whole cab. So basically, I'll do the walk around. So we'll start at the front. So basically, I went with the RC front bumper, and reason why is tires clear further in front, so if you do any rock climbing, you do any mudding, climbing in the ditch or anything, this is probably the best bumper to put on there, in my opinion, for the price. And if you want to put a plow and a winch, well, you got no choice to have a bumper. So I like it tucked in, doesn't pick up mud, doesn't pick up the trees or anything, so that's the best bumper to go for. And then, well, you guys obviously see the tracks, but we won't talk about that. It's got the, well, we can explain them. You have backcountry Apache tracks with the big size tracks and everything with the 2-inch paddles, full round track system. So that's number one. Then we'll walk a little further. I went with the glass tempered windshield. I tinted the top and tinted the bottom because I'm a trucker, and we like to tint our transports that way. So I did it for my ride. Put the wiper system on there with the windshield washer with the bowl here from Can-Am. This is a Can-Am windshield. The only thing I didn't go with Can-Am was the Baja design lights because they're way expensive. So I went with the Slasher Performance Series. That's 4 rows of LEDs. That's almost 30,000 lumen. It's just as strong as the, and it lights up like crazy. And I can show you guys how much it lights up. That's how bright they are. And I've had no problems, no issue, and it's got lifetime warranty. So basically, no worries. And that's that for that. Then I went with the sports roof on top because it's the cheapest one to go with. And if you flip it and break it, it doesn't hurt the heart. And it goes good with all the accessories. It's, sorry I haven't washed anything, but that's the sports roof's on there. And then we'll walk to the side and look at the doors. So basically, what I had to put on was the mirrors on the side here because I couldn't go with the mirrors that bolt on to here. So, and if I wouldn't have put tracks on there, those are the mirrors I would have went with. They're easy to put on, they're easy to take off. And these here, you have to drill the hole in the door and do the whole 9 yards and line it up properly. And it's a pain in the ass compared to these ones. So I would go with the Can-Am ones to put on here if you're never going to put tracks on there and if you're never going to put a side window. You can't put those mirrors on because obviously the upper doors that I put on as well from Can-Am, they hide the holes. So you're screwed. So you need to put these mirrors on. And I put the lower doors on because obviously if you're playing in the snow, you don't want to get snow covered. I put the extended fenders on there, front and back, which would probably be, if I wouldn't have tracks, the only thing that I wouldn't buy again. Because up north here and everything, and if you live in the north of the US and all that, our trails are narrower and we're not in the desert or anything. And we like narrow. So top mirrors, no mirrors in the doors. And the hell with these, because you're gonna get mud no matter what. It stops it, but it doesn't even stop 50% of it. And you'd have a narrower body. So that's that for that. Then I went with the Slasher Performance backup lights that I added to see really good before I added my camera because I couldn't see anything when I was backing up at night or whatever. As soon as wintertime, if you put tracks on, it's dark at 4:30 at night, it's dark, so you can't do absolutely nothing. Then I put the Snorkel Kits on this year, and I went with the pre-air filters because you got no choice with a set of tracks. You got to put these 3 puppies on there. Actually, the first thing, if I were to buy another Can-Am tomorrow, would be a Snorkel Kit with these pre-air filters would be the first thing that I buy. I wouldn't even think of anything else before tires, before windshields, before anything else. The Snorkel Kit would be the first thing that I would purchase with these pre-airs. Because you're doing 2 things. You're protecting water from coming into your belt, because if anybody knows the system, any water splashes higher than this, you're getting water into your clutches. And then your clutches are getting dirty and water and muck and everything, and you're blowing belts. So if you want to start blowing belts right off the bat and eliminate that situation, Snorkel Kit with a pre-air will protect your engine, will protect your clutching system, so you're protected. So that would be my first investment if I were to restart. This was actually the last thing that I bought with my 32-inch tires. This was the last thing that I bought. And then, well, everybody knows that there's no storage in a Can-Am, so I went with a 15-liter box because I wanted to see behind my window and I wanted to put the pivot system at first. So that was that for that. So I went with a smaller box to keep from no restriction from seeing the back, but obviously that was a thing of the past. Then I went with the backup camera to see when I was cleaning the snow and the plow, because my wife says there's no way she's driving this thing backing up in the yard if there was no backup camera on it. So I went with the Can-Am backup camera. As you can see, it's got the camera there, and I tilted it down that I can see the edges of my tracks. So if you see that right there, so I can see both ends of my tracks. So when I'm backing up, I know when I'm gonna hit something. So that's that for that. And also I went with, since it was a winter build, I went with the heater and the 6 vents, for the icebreaker. And that's the icebreaker system. And I'm kind of happy with it. It doesn't blow as hard as I would have expected it, but what can you do? And then for stereo, well, I went with the Wet Sound Stealth 10 speaker bar, because there was no such thing as a stereo in the roof when I purchased in 2019. So I went with this. I got no regrets. It sounds pretty good. Probably need bass, maybe a sub, but if you're just cruising, listening to music a little bit, it's number one. I got no complaints on it. It's been working for 3 years. And I added the in-dash switch so I can control it, so I don't have to turn around every time and try to reach, so I can just control it here. I got my wiper system with the windshield washer system all set up here as well. And then you got the smart lock, and then you got the DPS, and then you got the smart mode and your driver's mode. You guys know all that. Then I added my backup lights to here. That's for my backup lights. And then on this side, I added my spotlight and my winch, which also my winch, I added that I can hook it up here as well with the cord and everything to run it. So, but I don't use it often. I only use it when I plow. So that's that for the interior. So that's that for that. And also what I put in performance so far, because I was waiting for the end of my project, which I put in the whatchamacallit, their G-Boost clutch kit, which is the full clutch kit. I put in the weights. You guys seen the video on that and everything. And I put a K&N air filter, which probably would be my second investment, because the filters that come with it are crap. And then the filters that you can purchase, the Twin Air that they sell from Can-Am, well, when you put it in and you push that thing in the back, as you can see all these little holes, and I've only washed this thing, as you can see right through, you can see the bar, the orange bar already. And that's from washing it 4 times. So you spend 200 bucks to wash this thing and take it apart and soak it and respray it. Pain in the ass. Don't buy it. Order a K&N air filter right off the get-go. Put pre-airs on there if you don't want to. There's companies like Evo and all that make a sock, and K&N as well makes a sock that slides right over, just like a pre-air filter. Same thing system, the frog skin, that will go in your air box and will protect your air filter. So don't buy the Can-Am one. Because that's my personal experience. This stuff just degrades like crazy. And I know you can buy them for like 50 bucks a pop. And also, I put the rock sliders from the RC, because the ones with the bars and everything, you get those dented, scratched, destroyed. I've been rubbing these, hitting everything, and it's not doing nothing. And the thing is with this, it could be the last thing you buy, because if you're looking at buying like step by step like I did, you know, spending about anywhere from what, 5 to 10 grand a year adding on the machine on a 3-year period to add $30,000 of accessories, this you could wait to the end, because you see this section right here and this section right here, well, that comes brand new with the system. So you can tear this apart, not worry about it, and then reorder this, and then you get all brand new. So don't even bother buying it at first, and don't worry about it unless you want to take these parts off like I got them in the shelf and put them on eBay and try to sell them off. And that's that for that. And also, I was almost forgetting, my back glass. I went with the hard back glass, and they say, well, you can't put it with a snorkel kit or whatever. Well, if you got a measuring tape and you can fit stuff in, a Sawzall will just cut just this one section here and one section here, and then around the circling system right here in the back. And then you just pop it back into place and it fits right in there. So if you're thinking, well, I can't buy that, I got to buy the flimsy one, and then I got to buy a screen or whatever, don't bother. The hard glass one will fit good if you trim it. So that's that for that. If I were to change, if I were to go like I was saying earlier and thinking about, probably wouldn't buy the fender extenders because it's just something that sticks out more. If I were just a mud plane and rock climbing guy, I would just go with the top mirrors, wouldn't go with the door mirrors. That would probably, and I would probably go with the flip up windshield if it wasn't a snow toy. This windshield here is easier to clean. The other one, I don't know if it's plastic, so I don't know if it gets scratchier after a while. But if you're more southern, you just want a windshield for protection from the weather and all that. And it's nice that you can open one up and have nice air, and because when it's hot in the summertime, me and the wife actually pull this thing off and pull the back glass off to get air drafting in there. And it sucks because it's only probably for one weekend, and after that, the weekend after, it's not as warm or whatever. And then we got to put it back on, and you got to find a place to put this so it doesn't get damaged. So I'm just saying, if you're not, the flip up one is a great buy probably. That's what I would go for if I wasn't building a snow toy. These mirrors here would probably be the ones I'd go for if I wasn't building a snow toy. These extensions would never be put on if I didn't build a snow toy. So leaves you more money to put somewhere else. But anyways, that's the walk around of my toy. I'll do a full wrap around. So that's basically, that's it. So next accessories that I want to add are the bars in the back here for high clearance. That's going to be the next purchase for two reasons. When you put these tracks on, they're like slanted on an angle, and the inner slide wants to use faster than the outer slide. So I added, oh, forgot about that. I added a set of wheels inside here in the back on each side. You got to buy the sets separately. So I added 2 sets. I'll probably maybe even add another one. So, but anybody that's not interested in the tracks, well, don't bother. Don't waste your time with that. And that's it. So thanks for watching, and hope you like my build. It was a long build. It took me time to save up and build everything up, but that's, if you're not rich, well, that's what you do. Every paycheck, you try to convince the wife that you can buy this and you can buy that. So hopefully it works out for you. So thanks for watching again, guys, and we'll see you in a minute, and hopefully we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.